Hey guys, it's back with JohnyTechReview. I hope you guys are all doing well. It's now around beginning of September, and I have been using this set of keyboard that me and my kid put together from Whatgeek for about 2 months now. Hey guys, the video will continue, but it's actually now mid-November. I have been lazy and not edited this video, been busy with a few things. But yeah, everything I say in the video is still applicable. Just wanted to let you guys know this video is released really late. So this is the final result, as you can see. This is the Leobog Hi75C Pro. That is the frame and the board. Then the switch themselves are the Leobog Graywood V4. And then the keycap themselves are these Acgame the Yellow Summer. That has two different theme color, blood, white, and yellow. Actually 3 color, I guess. There's about 164 keycap that it come with, so it come with a lot of different keycap that you can try. But this is the setup that I finally have put together. So first of all, I would like to say thank you to Whatgeek for sending me this unit for me to review. I was accepting this because I wanted my kid, who is about 11 years old, to build out his first keyboard. So I more or less monitor and supervise him, but kind of just let him go to town at it. So with the various different components, the Hi75C Pro has a lot of different varieties in color. I'll show you a screenshot, but you can go from white, blood, yellow, purple. There's a lot of different colors you can pick from the frame. And of course, same thing with the keycaps. You can pick different color to match that theme. And this is what we came up with. So it took me roughly about an hour or so. He was going really slow. This is his first build. One thing that we noticed on this keyboard was that the keyboard itself, the frame has a soft foam cushion. So if you're putting the keycap down, the metal pin has to go past those foam cushion. So my kid was not being careful. Sometimes he didn't push it down appropriately flat down. Sometimes if you're just pushing in the wrong direction or just a little bit off center, you might bend the key switch. So what happened is there was about 4 or 5 days where I had to pull them out and switch because it didn't work. But at the end of the day, you just have to be careful when building this unit, especially with that foam. The foam allowed it to have a little bit of damper and soften the sound, but here you can hear. It's still a pretty, I would say, soft, but you know, it's creamy, but it still has a clacky feel to it compared to something like the previous Galaxy 100 that I was using. That has a lot more creamy sound. It just, I guess, the design of this frame. So yes, that is the build experience. It wasn't terrible. His first time doing it, just pay attention to the switch as you're pushing them down. Now let's move on and talk about the actual Hi75C frame. So other than the foam thing I just mentioned, this is a really nice build quality. I guess it's aluminum, some kind of metal, completely metal. And then of course you have the button up front here. It comes with a little volume knob. This is the little rocker that has LED RGB. You can't really change the RGB. You can change if you move it, but other than that, you can change the functionality using the Leobog software to have it do other thing other than the default volume up, volume down, and then also for mute, right? So you can change that. So as far as the layout, this is the 75%. So some of the compromise they make is it comes default with, I think, another button not instead of home. I switch it out for home and I reprogram it to home. But this is my default setup. I use it for work, so I like the delete where I can access it quickly, and I like home, page up and page down where I'm scrolling through documents. So that's my use for this. The keyboard itself also have functionality. So for example, I'm not using it right now, but I usually use Bluetooth, but it comes with a 2.4 dongle. So you have Bluetooth, 2.4 gigahertz dongle, and USB-C for charging, of course, as an example. And then there's the switch for that right now, right? Other than that, it comes with a small little user menu that you can kind of look and program everything. You can switch between 3 different Bluetooth profile. That's something that you can do. But yeah, pretty standard, so like some of the other Leopard. The software is the same. I used this before, so it's not new to me. And the software is pretty flexible. What I do use on this is I set this little key here. You can see this little key to me is the right alt, but I don't use the right alt. I program that to be my password, where I can change my password, and there's a specific password I use for a lot of the stuff. So that is to type the password. This is now saved on the keyboard memory board, which is really cool because that means I can take this anywhere, and when I press that key, it does the password or whatever you want the macro to be. You can reprogram the keyboard completely to do whatever you need to do, and you can program those different macro. I usually use only 1 or 2 macros, so I don't know what the limitations are, how many macros you can set. But in the profile, you can create your macro, then you can load it onto the device like this. Now, as far as the Graywood V4 linear switch, the switch itself, I would say, engaged pretty quickly. I would say halfway to the push down of the pressure, halfway down to that. So halfway down to on the press, you will feel that the key are engaged. It has a nice subtle sound, but it's very linear. As you say, there's no like different pressure. It goes down quickly and come back quickly. Type very well. I'm gonna let you hear that again. There you go, give you an idea. So I would say the switch works fine. I didn't have any issues with this switch versus the previous keyboard where the Galaxy, where I have issues with the over typing or too sensitive. It just has the right actuation point. So to me, it just works really well. Alright, one more thing I want to show you guys is that with this keyboard, since I use it for work, I actually need the print screen button to take screenshot a lot, and this keyboard does not have that. So no dedicated print screen. I set mine to function F12. But I'm considering changing that to the click here on the knob here, because I don't use that knob for mute at all. So I might do that in the future. I also took a keycap off here so that you can see what it looked like. What I like about these switches is that at the bottom here you have the functionality where the lights are shining through, so you can see that. However, these keycaps are not translucent at all, so you will see the light falling, I guess, below the keycap and the top of the keycap. It's pretty bright during the day here in a bright room. You might not be able to notice that. Speaking of RGB though, let's get into that. You have about, I think, 8 or 9 different mode. The typical breathing, rotating, etc. Tetris, rainfall. You can change those in the app, but you can also do it in the keyboard. It's just function pipe and function enter. And then of course brightness control, 3 or 4 different level here, up and down, and then left and right for speed and color change and those type of thing. So here we have the Leobog Hi75C Pro interface software. Here you can change the different setting, you can bind the key, and of course you can use multiple different keyboard. If you go back a little bit, there's different layer, default, function 1, function 2, and tab. So you have the ability to have different keys and switch between the different layer right now. So I have just one profile where you can save it and change the different profile. Right now you can see here I have the end button remap because I wanted to use that for home, so that's what I switched it for, and my alt become my macro. So we go down here, we can see the firmware version, the software, and a bunch of different settings here, including sensitivity for tap, the bouncing here, and of course how long to fall asleep, and firmware updates. Moving on to the lighting, this is what I was saying earlier. You have different lighting mode you can set, and if you hit the save button, it will load to the keyboard immediately, but you just give you a visualization before you do that. Finally, you also have the sound sensitive setting, and then under that here we have the macro where we can make and edit new macro. So for example, you press plus here, you can make a new one and hit the record button and start hitting the record. And of course, just type whatever you want. This delay setting that you can change, and then you can save this as a macro and assign to a key. That's basically the software. Yeah, overall I say it's a pretty good build experience. Again, it's a good keyboard size for those who's looking for something compact. For gaming, I think it's perfect 10 kilo setup. However, if you're looking for additional buttons or functionality, you can remap some of the key for work, for example, like I mentioned. The build time didn't take very long for my kid who never built a keyboard before. He has switched other key out before, so he knows the process. But it was a really fun experience for him. Again, appreciate Whatgeek for sending me this unit out for me to review. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave it in the comment box down below. Give it a thumb up as it will help me, and subscribe for more future content. Thank you.